I'm out here in nature and I'm on a pretty crazy trail today. I don't hike this trail too often because it's pretty steep and it's fraught with a lot of bumps and twists and turns. But it's the perfect trail to talk about one of my favorite verses. Do you ever wonder if God really is paying attention to you? Do you ever wonder if God's gonna let you fail? If God's gonna help you succeed? Like, what promises does he offer you? And so one of my favorite verses I'm gonna share with you is Psalm 37, 23 and 24. And it says, God directs the steps of the godly. He delights in every detail of their lives. Though they stumble, they will not fall, for the Lord holds them by the hand. Wow. I'm gonna struggle a little bit breathing with this steep hike, but you're gonna forgive me because we're gonna talk through this just beautiful passage that reminds us that God is always looking over those who are his children. So it starts out saying, God directs the steps of the godly. So just like on this trail here that I'm on, you can see there are my dogs. And it's just gorgeous if you can see behind me. But it's steep. And there's roots. And there's things that can trip me up. And there's sections that I can slide and fall. And in parts, it walks along the edge of a mountain. And so one misstep and I'm rolling down the hill. And as I'm hiking this, I'm remembering that God says, I direct the steps of the godly. And who's the godly? You know, there can probably be some debate about that. But it starts with those who are children of God. Those who have accepted Jesus into their hearts and they are serving him and worshiping him and surrendered to him. And I think that's a good place to actually stop, because the reality is not all of us, none of us. The reality is none of us do life perfectly. And so when we talk about who is godly and who isn't, I think the Old Testament would define that as someone who's God-fearing, who respects God as their authority in their life. But it doesn't mean that we do things perfectly. And so if you are God-fearing and you're doing the best that you can to obey and seek him, God is directing your path. God is showing you every step that you need to take. Now, I think that requires us asking and being open to his direction, right? Because we can have a lot of great ideas ourselves and think that we know what we should do. But it's us seeking God. And when we seek God, he directs our steps. He tells us, do this, do that, talk to that person, forgive that person, start this ministry, don't engage with that person, don't feed the conflict. It's that direction, right? God directs our steps. And then the next part is my favorite part, because it says, God directs the steps of the godly. He delights in every detail of their lives. Now just think about that. The God who created all of this, right? The God who created everything that we see, every single galaxy. He knows every single star by name. He is unfathomable. He is inconceivable. We cannot really understand God ever because he is so much bigger and higher than us. And he is our God and our creator, but he delights in every detail of our lives. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me that this God who oversees all delights in every detail of my life, delights in every detail of your life, and every child of his. He doesn't just see every detail. He doesn't just plan every detail. He delights. He delights in when you come to him and you say, God, I'm really upset about this. This is the way I'm feeling. I'm discouraged about this. Or, God, can you believe that just happened to me? I had a friend of mine who used to joke because when I pulled into a parking lot, I would pray for a good parking spot. And very often God would honor me and bless me. Not honor me, bless me, I guess, with a good parking spot. Every detail of our lives, he delights in. And then the next verse reminds me as I'm struggling on this trail. Though they stumble, they will not fall, for the Lord holds them by the hand. Such a comfort to me. Friend, when you stumble, and we all do, when I stumble, I fail, I mess up, Jesus will not let us fall. Jesus will not let us completely be destroyed. Jesus will not let us completely be defeated. Though we stumble, the psalmist admits we stumble, we will not fall. Why? Why don't we fall? Because the Lord himself holds us by the hand. I just took my nieces and nephews on this hike, and there was a couple of spots where they had trouble navigating it because the portion of the trail was very, very steep. And so they had to hold my hand. And I had to help them. And them holding my hand gave them confidence. It gave them reassurance. It showed them that I loved them, that I was protecting them, that they were safe. And that's what God does to us. We stumble, but he will not let us be completely defeated because he holds us by the hand. Isn't that beautiful? I just wanted to share that passage with you, and I hope it blesses your day like it does mine.